Hey everybody, it's a lovely evening on the weekend. Today is Saturday, I think the 9th, and what we're doing, just a really quick update. You can see here the tomato and pepper bed. We have cleared all of the tomatoes out. We did a top dressing of some soil. I think this one we actually included some manure mulch kind of mix, and we have planted some various lettuces and some bunching onions down at the far end. I have gotten away from my goal to be organized and have things labeled. I really probably shouldn't, but I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little tired, which is not a great excuse. But I have not put in labels for any of the fall garden stuff that we have planted. So I am going to be relying on my memory of what we've done, for better or for worse. And it kind of looks like we've already had some of the squirrels come through here and try doing a little digging. Now over here, this, yep, see, squirrels have been in this too. So hopefully that didn't dislodge the seeds that we put in. We did a top dress over here as well. In all of the areas where it's browned, we finally got the daikon radishes planted. So my guess is going to be maybe 15, maybe 20 radishes that Scott planted. We'll see. Over here, yeah, it's difficult because we definitely have gotten a lot of things churning up even just since this mid-afternoon, which is when we did our planting. It's almost impossible to keep critters out of things, so we'll just have to see how it goes. I did a resowing of the cauliflower, so we have 3 instead of before we had 2. We have 3 sowing attempts of the purple, and then 3 also of the white cauliflower. We'll see if they decide to germinate this time or not. Hard to say. Over here, this had also been churned up and kind of resettled. Here we planted some more of our butter crunch lettuce. We really liked the butter crunch in the spring, so I'm hoping that we will have plenty of time for it to germinate and grow in the fall. Now, with our cabbage that we did last year that we did earlier in the season, and a lot of the other things that we put into the beds, many of them were starts that we did the seeds indoors. The butter crunch we did do as a direct sow, and it came up just fine. It took a little bit of a time for it to get going, but it did come up, so I'm hoping that we will have success here. Now we do, my back has been giving me some trouble, so I'm trying to be tender with it. We do have a decent amount of cucamelons that are just falling off the vine here, and one of the things I'm trying to avoid with our raised beds is having volunteer stuff. I know some folks are like, hey, that's free, free seeds, things are coming up by themselves, but I really want to try to do crop rotation, so I want to minimize that occurrence as much as possible. I mean, if it happens, it's not gonna be a huge problem, but if I can avoid it, that'd be great. Okay, and then over here again, we did a new top dressing, and we planted 3 cabbage seeds. We did 2 new ones. The 2 new ones were called, I think, stone crop cabbage, and then we did our hybrid paddock that we had done in the spring, and we really liked how that went. So we'll see how that germinates. And that's kind of the last of the fall crops that we have put in to the raised beds. I have not planted anything fall related just yet in the green stalks. I'm still kind of hemming and hawing about doing that. We do have some sections open, so we could put some things in here, maybe some lettuces and stuff like that. But I'll be honest, I'm getting a little bit burnt out with the garden and just with everything that's been going on. So my motivation to add new stuff has taken a little bit of a hit. So still on the docket as a possibility, but we'll have to see where we land. That said, our carrots, which we did sow earlier, are doing great. We do have our beans. They're coming up quite nicely over here. And then our other section of beans seem to be doing pretty well. And again, there's the huge failure one over there, which were the contender, either contender or provider, were not a one germinated, even though we did 2 separate sowings, 28 seeds. Not one. Well, I can't say that actually. A couple of them germinated and got to be about this tall and then died off. So extremely unimpressed with those. But anyway, that's where we're at. I'm trying to think if there's really anything else that we would want to put into the garden. We do have a little bit of space left right here where we could put some more stuff. We could conceivably put a little bit in this area as well. I'd rather not put anything over there. We still have our watermelon that we're trying to baby along. I don't know, you can see the vine that's not looking the healthiest, so that may just be done for as is. Yeah, I don't think we want to put anything else anywhere else in the rest of the beds at this point. So yeah, we have a little bit of a limited space, but not a huge amount to play with, especially since the peppers seem to still be going pretty well. So I'm not anticipating that we're going to pull them out anytime soon. So yeah, it would be the green stalk or the very few sections that I just pointed out. Okay. Alrighty, so yeah. Oh, one thing I did want to kind of show is we had a fair amount of settling in this bed, and I'm not sure why it settled as much as it did in comparison to some of the others. I mean, it's not that we didn't have any settling of the soil in the others. I want to say that in all of these beds, the level of the ground was up to that very first line, not to the tippy top, but that very first line at least. And we are seeing, that it has dropped in pretty much all the cases. But this one definitely has settled the most. So found that to be a little interesting. It's going to make it interesting for next season and making decisions on what we are going to do about that as far as purchasing soil to build things back up, and things of that nature. So I guess we'll see. All right, I am going to close this here. And you know what? I don't think I introduced myself. My name is Sia, and I'm with Black Petal Gardening. Again, if this is the first time you've been watching one of our videos, welcome. And if you've seen any of our others in the past, welcome back. Like I said, now we're going to close the video. Scott right now has got the grill going. We're going to have some pork loin and use some of our homegrown herbs to season it. We are going to have some of our beautiful purple potatoes that we grew. We only ended up with 3, but they're pretty sizable. So I think we're going to make purple mashed potatoes with those. And then we have some green beans that we harvested, and we're probably going to grill that along with some of the yellow summer squash that we are just awash in. So I'm very excited because there's going to be a pretty large ratio of food that we're having for dinner tonight that we actually had a direct hand in creating slash growing. So that'll be fun. Alrighty, I hope you have a marvelous evening. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.